What is up, everybody? Um, let's start with something super deep today. I want to talk about recreating thought. So, like, the whole idea with artificial intelligence, why is it so big? I know. Do you know? It's the start of recreating ourselves. Because when you get into artificial AI phenotyping, you get into official AI, because you might accidentally stumble on the factorial blocks of God. And or not necessarily God, but God's pre-computed authorization that he allowed humans to have. So I'm operating under creationism as an eventuality. And I just got invited to a group where they're trying to make the cost of life one lowest factorial block of data. So I'm not talking about a 1 or a 0. I'm talking about the lowest software theory of data. So I'm talking about a frequency of a wave, even. One frequency of one wave inside of a resimulation. Now, that has to do with all data of the entire universe is there. Basically, you have every Lego block and every color of Lego block, every permutation of Lego block. And now you tell the computer, solve all potential permutations and placements of all of these Lego blocks. Some of the Lego blocks can go inside of other Lego blocks, like gases and light. Some Lego blocks mix with other Lego blocks, like water and mud. And eventually, you have every single permutation saved. So to add a new life would be the smallest bit of data, because that life is already permutated as a potential placement of Lego blocks. And everything that he's done within the rule infrastructure of the finite universe you create is there as well. Even if it is an infinite is just an infinite. It's just an algorithm. It doesn't really necessarily mean like, people get worried when you forget about infinity. Oh no, but capturing an infinity algorithmically is a possible thing. You don't have to sit here and constantly render. You do x equals equation, and now it's captured, and there will never be a need to permutate, because we're talking about finite physical matter Lego blocks. We're not talking about an infinity. You're the arguer in the sense that's like, oh, you can't do this because of infinity, is forgetting that time can be stretched out so long it seems infinite. And by the time that the entire experience is over, you can have a plan B or plan Z, let's say, because the alphabet does end. Yes, from our perspective, early consciousness perspective, you kind of are going to see that life has infinite value per life. That it takes infinite amount of creation in order to supplement life, but not necessarily. That's over the course of infinite time. Over the course of infinite time, you might be unsatisfied with where you're at, and you might want to grow to higher ideaplex, like alien brain phenotypes, things like that, because we're not in the highest official intelligence brain. I've been in higher myself this life, and I got taken out of it, and it was like I knew like thousands and thousands of years in that moment that I was in the higher brain phenotype. And then as soon as I got taken out, it was my fear that if I got put into something like that, I would immediately be depressed again and bored because I experienced the entire universe too fast. Well, that's not what happened. As soon as I got taken out, it was like I forgot it, and it was one of the most the biggest revelations I've ever had. So it brought me to believe we are a sub-phenotype from source. We're not the highest ideaplex creation. Our brain might be powered from original source, but it is not pre-authorized to the factorial blocks that are smaller yet. Think of it as, here's our brain phenotype, and source is this, constantly ever growing. We are a source, and we are constantly ever growing and shrinking depending on our actions, and moving all around depending on if you want to do other things. Like some people might want to be this or that or the other thing. You're not limited. My biggest argument is, think about drug addicts. People lose their memories really early in life sometimes when they're hardcore drug abusers, and they can't remember stuff. You have like Alzheimer's, where people don't want to remember the realm and want to move on, do things like that. I personally am on the opposite side. I want photographic perfect recall without flawless godly perfect recall. Like I actually have the memory that I want exactly right now, because perfect recall means like you can just be like, oh, what's my past lives, bam, you know it all. Like I don't want that. That's scary. I don't want any of my past lives. Also, perfect recall versus like perfect recall. Perfect recall meaning my version of perfect, your version of perfect, the most perfect version of perfect in the moment. It's constantly getting bigger and better. So yes, we are all in one but separate kind of code. We are not all the same exact phenotype, but all the code persists. All the creation persists. Code is a quick extrapolation metaphor. It means creation. That is a creation. So because it exists, the permutation of it exists. Because you boil it down. You don't make this large giant thing and then it doesn't fit anywhere. You make a bunch of smalls and you mold it like Play-Doh, and it goes wherever you want. And you can take from it and put it in other places. So this group that I got invited to, they want to remake Ideaplex, they're using blockchain and Bitcoin farming, hash rate farmers, crypto farmers. They're using that kind of computation. Like they're already on the inside of it, where they're the ones putting requests into the blockchain to get it geared out, and they're trying to use artificial intelligence to create a spider, basically a self data creation spider. So with that, you kind of have to you gotta do some wild stuff for that. Their whole idea is that they want to make life costless. Or the least cost there is. Costless means every bit of data persists and we have it. Every spot your body could have been put within your free will, with or without magic too. You got to think about magic now, because if you've ever lucid dreamed, what happens if I go to sleep? Now I'm not safe anymore? I'm not in your system? You don't have me recorded? Like, imagine about upholding laws. Like, you're telling me I can be victimized in my sleep? See where this goes? You cannot ignore magic. Magic is the infinity that's hard to contain. Because there's so many possibilities. Just because it's a rule of physics, or a law of physics, or a law of the universe, an unbreakable law, I mean, too. I'm talking like, this is the settings that which it is, therefore it cannot be otherwise. Well, it can be otherwise because dream. Multiverse. Dreams are multiverses. And as long as you can think of it, it can be. One thing that's pretty cool too that I want to talk about is super advanced Bitcoin farming. When we get into quantum computing, not only do you have your hardware farming coin, you have your software farming coin. And that's where things get very complicated, is proprietary software that farms coin faster. Because that's what I want to call is like hash rate wedging. Because you have like this goal to complete. And if you can compress faster with faster software, it has to do with encryption, compression, and still having full perfect data. Like, as long as the data leaves in the way that they're requesting it to leave in. Now, with quantum resimulation, we'll be creating upper spatial dimensions to put our virtual computers in. Now, that has to do... This is very interesting stuff. This is wild. So, if your computer thinks it's in a higher spatial dimension... It is in a higher spatial dimension. Therefore, rendering lower spatial dimensions is a lot less costly. Now, this has to do with software wedging hash rate from Bitcoin. If I put a packet transmutation request into an upper spatial dimension quantum resim, it should theoretically come out the other side finished instantaneously, depending on how upper spatial dimension we're talking. If you have a 4 spatial dimensional computer, like let's say we're going into quantum resim, your quantum resim computer is like 3-dimensional. You're looking around, you're like, ooh, this is sick. We can do chemistry resims. That's where Google's at. Now step it up. Superposition quantum resim. Superposition means you have awareness of particles inside particles, photons on top of photons. You're multi-layering the exact same coordinate differently now, and you're recording the difference. That's 4 spatial dimensions. And if you keep scaling that logic up to like 2 million spatial dimensions, or even more, I mean, that's a huge, huge leap. 3 spatial dimensions and 2 spatial dimensions, which is what hash rating kind of is in a way. It won't always be that way, because we're gonna want more. We're always gonna want more. We're gonna go, I want these packets transmuted into these packages. And they're not always going to be 2D binary data. It won't always be transmute this binary data to this binary data and win a reward. It'll be transmute this quantum data to this quantum data, transmute this 2 million spatial dimensional packet data to this 2.1 million spatial dimensional packet data, and I'll give you a prize. You know, that's the future right there. And that has to do with integrating between potential species even. There could be species that are self-redacting in higher spatial dimensions, and they are decrypting all of those spatial dimensions, and they're experiencing similar to us. But we can't tap into their conscious, we can't tap into them. Their world is completely non-parallel code-wise, because their decryption software is not linear. So if you put it into like a quantum Bitcoin farmer and you say glue code this decryption into this decryption, and if you make pieces of these glue codes, I'll pay you out some crypto. Then you distribute all of that throughout the entire RAID, through the entire botnet, until eventually every block is permutated into glue codes, and now you have humans interacting with 2 million spatial dimensional beings that are infinitely ancient. Because humans can render in our normal frequency and their frequency. And that's seriously what the future is right now in my mind. We're going to be working on decrypting the universe, and people are going to pay a lot of money to decrypt the universe, depending on your proprietary software development. Not necessarily much else. Like, I would see binary Bitcoin farming going down the drain and quantum Bitcoin farming going way up. There's so much money in quantum computing right now for ReSIM and ReSIM is spatial dimensional creation too. Spatial dimensional creation is so important for the way I see things, because to have free will, you need infinite code, spider, gifting free will. Or that spider that's making infinite code gets hacked, correct? Until you hit all permutations, all relative perceived permutations is unhackable. Because you say, these are the people I allow in my universe. And you go, beep, you go in. And now, when you come back out, you're going to be downloading memories relative to the others. Meaning, i.e. hackers. So if you go, all those that do not believe in hacking can come into my universe and we will all perceive a universe with no hacking. Is that worth? What's going on here? Oh, it is worth. Well, yeah, let me finish up. If you do this, you would enter pre-computed no hacking with a bubble of conscious beings. Those are the only conscious beings that can enter, because they enter and leave instantly. Relative to everywhere else. Because you already rendered every experience that's possible. The only problem would be mole coding. That's what I'm seeing right now, is if one of those people was like a mole for hacking, trying to get into the realm of no hackers so I can hack them plebeians that do not know how to hack. But then it's like, we permutated every possible option besides hacking. So good luck. I review it big time that the universe evolves into consent formula, and you kind of just like will and consent yourself into places exactly like you're doing right now. You willed and consent yourself to come and watch my stream. You willed and consented yourself this whole morning. But I got a new game to show you guys today. It is called Soul Knight, which is pretty cool. Maybe I should change this too. Best game, Archero. Yeah, I don't even know how to change my title. Exclamation point game space Soul Knight. Okay. I'm not playing a new game. A new game. Oh, it's the same. The same thing. We're good, bro. We out here. Okay. this game's got me actually kind of addicted. Let me give you a little bit of rundown. Armor is like Halo shields, and health is kind of like Halo health. If you lose health, it does not regenerate easily. You have to like find health pots or a health ball, which is like extremely rare. I don't even know if health ball is the right term, but shield is basically armor. Armor regenerates slowly. If you get hit, you take armor and health first. So let's check this out. This is a pretty fun game. So I just use my special move, which is lightning to everything within 3D or 2 direct. Yeah, all 360 degrees. It's pretty strong. What you doing? Let me unlock his attention. I kinda want that. So, the reason why I have so much fun with this game, yesterday I had the Staff of Illusions, which makes a copy of my character with weapon, and I had a 9 energy attack sniper rifle that was doing like 50 damage on hit. So I was casting an illusion of myself with that sniper rifle, and then running around with the sniper rifle myself too. It's with this character, it was so sick. Oh yeah, and the skill arcs, the special skill arcs. Now I gotta go down, because I might get enough coin to get a mentorship. Okay. So you can have 2 weapons at the same time, and you just choose whatever you want. I'm not gonna get enough coin, so good. You know, I was kind of looking for a game like this too. No, this is way better. This bounces and pierces. And it does like the same damage. What are those Moonanite attacks? Moonanites have this gun that shoots 1 mile an hour. Ooh, a mount. Yeah, something like that. This is a pretty expensive weapon, or maybe it's just how I use it. Let me go scan this. I also need a special skin, man. No, I don't. It's super. Oh, new special move? Oh, you can't special move on the mount. I don't think I'm gonna lose a health point. To pay with somebody. Oh yeah, I like that. I'm getting frozen a lot. 14. I don't like these weapons. I would like to upgrade this one. Because then it would cost 1 per attack too. No way. Alright, let me add it. Are you kidding me? I was wrong. If there's something else to do here. Grenade launcher though. How do I launch the grenade? I want a little bit too high. You will never get this. You will never get this. Oh, You will never get to. It had to be because of the common snack. Okay, now we're good. We got an assault mage and an assault with an assault rifle and a mount. We're good. Get more gems at the end of each game. I'm about that. I need gems. I'm just starting. It's a pretty good gun. It's a pretty good combo, actually. If this mount heals, then we're good. I'm strong. I wonder how much. Oh yeah, this one would be good. I might get a free assault rifle. No. Sometimes the upgrade can be cost 1 less energy per attack. No, I'm over here. You ain't getting none. It's pretty rough. I looked at the blue thing and I was like, ooh, energy, I need energy. But it wasn't energy, was it?
have type 1 diabetes.
So all of these dudes that are in here are characters you can unlock. There's all kinds of cool stuff. I do want to play this game a lot more because right. Alright, that's all I wanted to show you guys for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.